yeah, can create a little bit of friction.
Sorry? Yeah, of course. What are the challenges we face?
Yes.
Yeah. At this moment, actually, the biggest challenge we're facing is the fact that we're so far away. So we want to get new stock, but we really have to go there still. But what you're asking is also the culture differences. Well, language is difficult. That's for sure. I think it also creates a lot of problems because we just don't understand each other that well. For example, Maigan, he loves to have his friends around. So his friends are always there, and they're chilling in front, and they're drinking tea. They're all stone traders, so I don't really know what they're doing, but they're all there all the time. And at one point, there was 1 week that it really didn't, work like we agreed on. And then there were also other friends around that we didn't even know, like I didn't know them, and they were just sitting in his atelier, and he wasn't there. So I really tried to explain to him, like, okay, what's going on? And these friends are here that I don't know, but he understood that I didn't want his friends to be at his atelier, and he was like, no, I'm independent, and I don't want you to tell me if my friends can be here. So it was really a miscommunication in that sense. Another thing, what I said is about paying beforehand. Like, we really didn't want to do it in the beginning because we thought, okay, we have to make sure we have the quality, and then pay afterwards to to have some thing to trade. But now, actually, just after 1.5 years, I realized, like, okay, we really have to pay the advance because that's how they work here. Pay 50% up front and 50% afterwards. It made some things difficult in the beginning.
What are the objectives for the future? Or targets? Or who are you as a company? Or
what are our objectives for the future? So, for sure, more sales, because that's what makes you like a legitimate company, and how you can actually survive. So that's most important for us. We also introduced a women's wear collection, so we're also introducing that slowly. My top is from there. We are having a crowdfunding campaign at the moment, so in case you like it, you're welcome to invest. And yeah, and go more internationally. So go sell in the bigger cities around Europe in the first place. Is that an answer?
Yes.
Cool.
How come you went to Rwanda, and what you think you were studying? Because you said you went there for your master. Were you studying fashion or something related?
No, yeah. So I didn't study anything to do with fashion. I studied conflict studies. Oh, sorry. The question was why I went to Rwanda. So I went there for my research for conflict studies and human rights. I did research on how students experienced the current situation after the genocide 20 years ago. And it was very interesting. And I went there because I really, I studied so much about Africa and I really wanted to see it. That's.
And from there to the business, what happened?
What happened from there to the business?
How did the business happen? You went there.
Yes. So I had this very strong idea that the image that people have of Africa is very negative, and I wanted to change in a practical way something about it. And also, I thought there are so many beautiful things if you combine it with Dutch design, or design that fits this market, then you can get great products which are authentic, which are fair made, and which could really find customers here. And in this sense, I'm able to tell the story that I want to tell. So it was more ideological idea behind it than that I was really in fashion. And I think that's good because we work together with fashion designers and with brand designers and everything. So we can bring everyone together, this team. Yeah. You had a question.
Do you have any competitors? Because I know in the south of the Netherlands you have Lisco.
Yeah.
You're also, but it's I think a lot bigger, or you're more smaller.
Yes. So Flisco is kind of a competitor, maybe. No, I don't think so. Flisco is a company that sells African print fabrics in Africa of very high quality, and it's very expensive. So you can see it as the Chanel of Africa, I think. And they only sell fabrics to customers until now. So I think now they're actually shifting and they're going into the European market. But still, their prices are way higher, and I think also what is strong for us is our story and the way we produce. So I hope, you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyone else? In the back?
Thinking of the objectives question, how do you see, because it's obviously a very specific concept, how do you see the brand being refreshed and the styles being renewed in order for it to achieve success in the long term?
Yeah, so how can we continue and be like renewing, new all the time? So Africa is huge and there are so many cultures and fabrics and crafts that we can work with. So I think, you know, I've been thinking about many other countries that we could work with together. You have, for example, Bogolan, which is mud cloth. They paint it with mud. It's brownish black, very beautiful. So that's one option. And I think in this way there's always ways to... and then you have the rest of the world. And in the end, it's about connecting and showing a different image. And working fair trade. Yes.
Well, you have said that what was your problems back in Africa about the people, the culture, blah 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 blah. But I'm also, well, not in a respectful way. But what's the problems that you expect here in Holland, introducing like very printing, colorful, and full of patterns? Just put it in a Dutch market or a European market, which is a little bit more sober and not that into that. What was your problems here in Holland with the?
What were our problems here in Holland? Introducing a colorful printed blazer for men. It just takes a very, very long time, I think, and it's very difficult because, of course, people say like, well, okay, that's too much for me, and then you have also the problem of the blazer, which is a very difficult garment because it really has to fit you. And it really has to be well made, but also fit your body, and every body is different. And also, men are difficult because they don't like prints that much, especially in Holland. But maybe somehow, like, so in this sense, it was really maybe a very stupid choice to start with blazers in prints for men. But I think it was also a good choice because people see it immediately, and it's for artists. It's also interesting to wear such a thing. So, and also I think, well, people just see it. So, in the market where there's everything, this is something refreshing somehow. So what we noticed actually the first time we were on the fashion fair, Modefabriek, someone bought our blazer. It was one person who bought our blazer at this fair, and. A week later, like my parents were calling me like, Sivan, your blazer is on TV. So what happened was that Jeroen Henneman, who is an artist, was giving a speech at the bedankfeest, at a thank you party for Beatrix, for our queen, that used to be queen. And he was wearing our blazer, so that was actually the first time that we saw it on stage. And it's really an item that, you know, people wear in a public space and that a lot of people see right away. So. But it takes time. So that's also why we introduced a bigger collection with shirts and bomber jackets and everything. Yeah.
I think there's one more question.
Because it's about connection, and you sell the blazers in Holland. Do you also sell them in Africa so that people can see like you bring something Dutch to Africa as well? Do you do that as well?
We're working on it, and actually, it's the problem a little bit is the price because. The price we're asking here is 289 euros for a blazer, and it's a very big price difference with what people will pay there. And also what's difficult is that people say like, well, I can go to my tailor here and make something similar. But that's Rwanda, and I think there are other countries that would definitely be where it would work better. Maybe Kenya, maybe South Africa. But Africa is huge, so we didn't get there yet. What I do want to do is when I go there in November, I will open a pop-up shop in Kigali and see what happens. I think that would be really nice. So. Yeah?